All right. Wait 1 second. All right. I don't really go live very often, but a post fight review. Let's get to the box, right? Sure. Screen. What's up, Mo Boxing? What's up, Grinder? Just trying to figure out how to. What's up, Jacob Jennings? How you been, bro? Let me. There we go. There we go. There we go. Put this in a weird spot here. All right. So let's start with night, I guess. Let's go to the event page. All right. Let's see here. Cool. Yep, let me just shout everybody out. Mo Boxing, what's going on? Grinder, what's up, bro? Jacob Jennings, how you doing, man? Salute. Mo, what's up? Jacob Jennings, yep. Hey, saluting each other. All right, cool. Let's get to the box, right? I didn't watch this fight. I don't know who these guys are. Um, this is the first time I'm seeing this. This right here, Afatober or F.A. Apochi, right? We most of us saw F.A. Apochi in his war with Brandon Glanton. I tried to find the result of this fight on Twitter. I couldn't really find it because Apochi only has about 57 followers on Twitter. Make that make sense. Vito Milnecki, apparently he's the son of a PBC exec, so he's being pushed, but apparently he's not all that. He's okay. I mean, I saw him; he's all right. But let me see the results of this fight here, because I know he wanted a match with Glenn. He's kind of in the shithouse. He's 34 years old already. There's 2 losses now, close fights. Yeah, he's getting moving. I guess he's in a tough position, Mr. Opochi. Sorry about that, bro. Yeah, Adrian Taylor. Let's look at the other guy that he fought here. So I looked at this last night. Yeah, he looks like he has a hard head. He doesn't look like he'll be stopped. He probably has never been down either. Yep. Yep. Yeah, with a winging puncher like that, that makes sense. It makes sense. He probably could box a little bit. I've never seen him fight, so let's see what the comments are saying. Sir, yes, sir. Just put some of these comments on there. Boxing, grind. All right, so let's move up the card. Okay. So I tuned into this fight, this Brandon Lee fight versus Zach Ochoa. Ochoa was looking to survive. He does interviews with a channel called YSM Sports Media. I think they spend a lot of time in Duran Ennis's gym. That's where they do most of their interviews. And he was pretty confident about this fight. I mean, I was watching this. It was really hard to watch. I mean, that should be screaming out at you right here. I mean, 24 fights and only 7 knockouts. Who stopped him? It had to have been early. No, it was. Oh yeah, okay. I know this guy. He fought a long time ago on Lemieux Saunders undercard on HBO. This was up in Canada versus Cletus Selden. He gave that guy a boxing lesson, but okay. So yeah, this Brandon Lee fight was really hard to watch. I mean, Brandon Lee's pretty much a slugger. I mean, he pushes the pace, and he's really just swinging for the fences. You know, he had a knockout of the year versus Samuel Tia a year back or the year before, and yeah, this it took him 10 rounds. Cho was really in there to survive. He was on the back foot and high guard and everything. So yeah, this was not a great fight to watch by any means. This is at 140. Okay, contracted to 147. It was good. I'm gonna get to that towards the end because I'm going one by one. Jacob Jennings. It was good. It was good. Probably the fight I was probably most interested in last night had to have been the co-main on YouTube. This fight, Radza Bhutea versus Imantus Stanionis. Um, I don't know how the other guy could see 114, 113 for Bhutea, but 116, 111 makes sense for me for the fight. I thought Stanionis, this guy will be champion. Once these belts disperse, this guy will definitely be a champion. He's a very, very good fighter. I mean, first time I heard about him, Stormy talked about him, and he doesn't do anything flashy or special. I mean, he's straight up and down, but he's compact, he's sharp, he's accurate, he punches hard, he knows how to cut off the ring, and his defense is really tight. I mean, he got hit a couple of times, but he knows how to get under. And most of those, he had a hematoma by the end of it, but most of those were what headbutts and elbows. I mean, he was in there with the guy Bhutea here, who is no joke. I mean, he could punch. He's strong. He's durable. He can take a shot. I mean, he wore down Jamal James fairly easily. A lot of people thought that Jamal James could box him up, but that just wasn't the case. I mean, he worked Jamal James hard and he beat him up when he got that win like he needed to. When this fight, even though he was in with a smaller guy, you know, Stanionis is about 5'8", Bhutea is 5'11". Stanionis was just stronger, and you could feel it was much more accurate, and he was beating him to a punch. I mean, regardless of the outcome, both of these guys are top guys in this weight class, and I think they'd give anybody a run. I mean, Stanionis will probably beat Virgil Ortiz today. A lot of these guys in this, these guys are easily top 10. Like you look at it. I mean, both those guys are better than Mean Machine, better than this shitter, better than this guy, better than this guy. They're better than Avanesian. They're better than Cody Crowley. They're better than Ortiz. They're better than Mikey Garcia. They'll give Cal Brook a run. I mean, these guys for me are easily top 8, top 7 fighters. For sure, hands down. Very good fighters. This was probably the most technical fight of the evening. If you guys didn't watch, I'd go back and watch it. Very, very interesting fight, and both guys are good fighters. Now, I don't say that a lot about people for the most part. Okay. All right, let's move on to the fight after. Let's the pay-per-view portion. We had it kicked off with Cody Crowley versus Josecito Lopez. So I've only watched Cody Crowley the fight before versus that IBF mandatory. He's all right. I mean, he's big, not a lot of power at all. Can box. Apparently, his narrative is he had a tough upbringing. I mean, everybody's had a tough upbringing at this point. He was fat. Apparently, he lost weight. He did boxing to lose weight, and then he got into it like that. He likes to box and movies. Out and out guy. and apparently he was just picking Josecito Lopez apart. But Lopez, I mean, he's 37. Right, with the wars he's had, he's every bit of that and more. I mean, there was no point for him to fight. He's way past his sell by date, and that's just the net of it. He was dropped, but it was a more of a cuffing shot. But yeah, I think he should hang it up for sure. I don't understand how he's number 15 in the rankings on BoxRec. I don't understand that at all. Okay. Jacobs Jennings just managed to catch the Cruz again. Yeah, I mean, the only fight I tell you guys to really go back and watch is the Stanionis fight because those guys are going to be real players in this division. Those two. But other than that you weren't jumping out of your seat for any of the undercard fights, really. Other than that one stood out to me the most. This fight here. So let's move on to Jose Valenzuela. They call him Rayo or Rayo. I don't know. Vargas is definitely way past his best for sure, 100%. But I do feel this was I think he caught him cold, and the guy apparently can punch. This guy, Jose Valenzuela, trains with Benavidez. He's in that camp apparently, and they bring him down to spar and whatever else. He's the one who knocked out Teofimo Lopez in sparring. Apparently, I don't know if you guys saw that video, but he knocked him out. And Vargas, I mean, wind the clock back about 7 years. He was no joke. I mean, he was the WBC champion. I mean, he fought Takashi Miura. He fought a lot of guys, Miguel Roman, Burchelt twice. I mean, he was definitely a mover and shaker at 130. He's definitely past his best now. 37, yeah, he's done, especially at 130 pounds. Orlando Salido, Juan Manuel Lopez, yeah, he's a good fighter in his day, man. But yeah, sad he's gone out like that. It looked bad, but I thought he would have gotten up if given the time. But the guy just decided to call it, so it is what it is. Okay. Then we have Isaac Cruz versus Gamboa. So Gamboa, we all know, is super past his best. He's definitely 40 or 41. He's 40. Okay. Um, lost his last 3 fights. The Devin Haney fight was really boring, dude. I hated watching that fight. Tank Davis fight, he was on one leg for most of the fight. And then this fight, I mean, really it really could have been ended in the first round. I mean, Cruz was just swinging for the fences to get him out of here, and he did. He just needs to be a bit more compact, but he's not going to get any more skilled. He might add layers to his game, but that's not what Cruz wants to do. He's just there to. He's a pit bull. So, all right. And now we've got the main event here. Spence versus Ugas. So what did you guys think about the main event before I go on? Look at some of the comments. Yeah, Gamboa is definitely shot, dude. Super shot. 100%. So what do you guys think about the main event? To be honest, I thought Spence did good. I'd give him maybe like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. I thought he was good. He wasn't as sharp as he could have been, but he put on a lot of pressure. I'll send it. he put on a lot of pressure for what's his name? Ugas I felt shelled up. He was shelling up, he was trying to catch and counter him, but just he just would not let it go down at all. And kept picking up, and he kept putting rounds in the bank. You know, Ugas was doing good body work. I'll give him that. But besides round 6, I mean, what was he really doing? I'll probably go back and look at round 6. I can go to daily. I'll try to find this clip of this one. See, that's scary if Spence isn't sharp yet. Probably the layoff could have affected him a little bit. I wasn't thinking it was totally off, but I thought he could do a bit. He did better as the fight went on. I thought he was getting hit by things he shouldn't have got hit with. He was definitely hurt in that round 6. People make a deal about the mouthpiece. I think that may have woken him up. But there was a short shot. I'm going to go to Daily Motion. I'm going to try to find this. Try my best to just do a little clip. And see what we can get. There was a short shot that caused the damage. Laws, I just sent you the link. It's just on Daily Motion, so they probably took it out, but it was right there. I don't know what happened. It's a full fight. Yeah, they probably got rid of it. CBS is tough. But yeah, it was a short shot that kind of hurt him, and then he did this thing where he like stepped back and like whoa, almost like he was doing some sort of a dance or whatever. His arms were outstretched, his back out real wide. He was just kind of wobbled back. So I was like, oh man, he's hurt. I hadn't seen him hurt like that before, but he recovered. He came back and he got right to work. And yeah, he was able to pick up the pace. And had they not stopped that fight, Ugas, I think, at least would have taken a knee. Because he looked like at that round he was going to take a knee. For sure. That's what I thought. But you know, they got the doctor in, and they did the what's it called? They pulled the fight. Apparently has a orbital bone fracture, so that's the second time Spence has done that to somebody. And yeah, where do both guys go from here? You've got Spence, who won the fight. He's probably going to fight Crawford at the end of the year for sure. Then you've got Ugas. I would put in Ugas with Thurman. I think Ugas Thurman would be a good fight. I don't know if Ugas needs a tune up or what, but I think that would be a really good fight. And I think I think as long as Spence is Thurman is smart, I think I'd pick Thurman in that fight. To be honest with you, what's up, Bruce Goes? It was great being on your show earlier today. Yep, Derek Bailey, what's going on? Great shot each other. Yeah, Thurman Ugas would be the logical next step, but Ugas will probably be out for maybe a year and a half. What does Thurman do? Porter is retired. Could they make Thurman Crawford or Garcia Thurman? One of those guys are not Garcia Thurman, but Garcia Crawford. One of those guys are gonna fight Crawford in an interim fight before the Spence fight. We just don't know which one. I heard it was going to be Garcia, but we don't know. Thurman needs to keep active because people want to give him out. I thought he did really good against Barrios, and he hurt Barrios a lot of times in there. I mean, he pitched a shutout. I don't think Barrios went around, honestly. So it was pretty good. So him versus Ugas would be a good fight. But now that I heard Ugas has an orbital bone, who knows? What's up, Laws?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Just bear with me 1 second, mate. Just bear with me 1 second. We're back in a minute.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah, Mo says Spence. I'm on the fence about it too. I saw a lot of things that Crawford could capitalize on, for sure, because I think Crawford hits hard. Crawford, his power, dude, is something weird because you look at him, he's not a big guy, but he's just got something. He's got this like pop that's just. At first, I was like, nah, but he showed it, man. He's pretty much stopped everybody at welterweight, dude. How many fights has he had at welterweight so far? 7. He's fought who? Horn, Mean Machine, Kell Brook, Porter, Benavidez. Is that 5? I think he's had 5 fights and he stopped everybody. I was wondering if Bud would take a fight before Spence. That's the plan. That's what I've heard. They're trying to do an interim fight. And I think it'll be either him versus I don't even think I think it'll be him versus Garcia if he's willing to take that fight.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Fucking computer's updated itself and all my fucking Gmail had disappeared. I couldn't find it. There's all new flipping settings on my laptop, so I was pissing around trying to find that. But yeah, we're good to go. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was just talking about the fights. There was really only 2 fights on this card that I cared about. It was definitely it was on the undercard. It was on YouTube. Bhutea versus Stanionis. Those guys are serious contenders, and I don't. You know me. I don't really give praises to a lot of guys. Stanionis will be champion once these belts disperse. 1,000%. He is a very good fighter, and if you haven't seen him fight, I'll definitely go back and watch it. He's not flashy. He doesn't have a lot of, intangible. I mean, not intangibles. So he doesn't have a lot of other tools, but what he does very well. He's very tight guard, compact, big puncher, sharp, accurate, knows how to cut off the ring. He's a stalker basically, and that's going to beat a lot of people. And then the main event. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's that guy. What Stormy keeps talking about, isn't
He's
he?
right.
Stormy ranks him very highly. I've never seen him fight, bro, so I don't know what he's about. But I know the OG keeps saying that he's somebody to watch out for.
Yeah, Derek Bailey's jab, very strong jab as well. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, that was dictating the fight. And the guy he was in there with, the other guy, Bhutea, is a good fighter too. He's no joke. I mean, that was a tough fight. for Stanionis this early for both of them because they don't have a lot of professional experience, but both of them go a long way in this division. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't see. I could not find that fight on my Fire Stick. Couldn't
Well, it's
find
on
it.
YouTube. It was live streamed on YouTube.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. I think
I
you can
didn't
go
know
back and
that.
watch it actually.
I didn't know that. What was it part of the undercard for the Spence and
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I couldn't find it. I asked in the chat last night where it was, and Mike said something, and I tried to find it on my Fire Stick. I ended up watching frigging Bogdan and some South African guy.
Well,
Bogdan
that was versus Kevin Lorena. I heard about that fight. I mean, did Dinu
Yeah,
fall again?
yeah, he got knocked out.
Again?
Bogdan
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Yeah, that guy's garbage.
Mm.
Bhutea is dirty also. Yeah, Bhutea is a dirty fighter. But, both of these guys I think will do well coming up if given the opportunity. But the main event, what did you think about the main event?
I didn't see any of the fight. None of it, Ty, because I couldn't find
Oh,
it.
really? Oh, wow.
No. I
So you
woke
didn't
up
see
this morning and saw just a sort of some guy had uploaded the highlights, so I watched that, but there was only like 2 minutes of it.
Yeah, well, I can kind of break it down for you. Ugas was shelling up a lot, right? He was basically like hurled over. Like he had his elbows touching each other and was just shelled up a lot. He was looking for opportunities to catch and counter, and he was doing a bit of that early, but the pressure got to him. But then in round 6, Spence tried to throw like a left hand, and he caught Spence with like a short right hook, or it was right
Yes, I saw
uppercut. I
that.
don't know what it
That's that
was.
way he goes back on the ropes.
No, it was before. He does it. He stops
Oh, right.
and he kind of moves his back like he kind of wobbles back a little bit. So he was hurt. And then he follows up and then he hits him with a right hand and his mouthpiece falls out. And then Spence, like, I understood what he did. He thought the referee was going to call it because he just started walking away. It'll be a meme. He's in the middle of it. He walked away after his mouthpiece was knocked out and he thought he was going to call it. And then Ugas hit him with a couple shots after that, bumped him into the ropes. And then the ref came in and let Spence go to work, put his mouthpiece back on, and then after that, it was just pretty much all Spence again. And
Right.
Ugas was about to take a knee a couple of times, but the eye got bad, and the doctor stopped it.
Yeah, I seen he stopped him because his eye was a mess.
Yeah, he broke his orbital bone again. So this is the second time he's done that to somebody.
Yeah, he likes doing that, doesn't he, Spence?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was fuming, mate. I could not find it. I went onto the pay-per-view section on my laptop. On my Fire Stick. I could not find it. So ended up just going to sleep instead. But I wish I'll watch it back anyway. It'll be on YouTube by tomorrow.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't. I was definitely surprised by him getting hurt, but yeah, it was all right. It was definitely all right.
So do you
Mm-hmm.
think that they're going to make this fight with Cruz
Yes.
or what?
Yeah.
I think so now.
Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah. Crawford was straight on Twitter, wasn't he?
Because there's no other options. That's just the net of it. That's what this all boils down to. He's got all the belts on his side. Crawford has a belt. Who haven't they beat? Who haven't the two of them beat together? They pretty much beat everybody.
Yes, I definitely believe it'll happen. Is Bud actually signed with anyone yet, or is he still people, or is he not signed with anyone?
He's a free agent, but I think they're going to do a 2-fight deal that they're working on. They're just, ironing some things out. But that's
with the PBC.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, then it'll definitely happen then.
Yeah, it's going to happen because there's nowhere to go. They've run out of road.
Man. We've been waiting like 3-4 years for this fight now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said to him, "Hey, Mike, you all right, mate?"
Y'all dusty ass motherfuckers up
Yeah,
too.
just talking
Johnson.
about the fight.
Oh yeah.
Like I said to Mike ages ago, if they don't make this fight, I don't think Spence will hang around. I think he'll jump up to 154. Me.
No, he'll fight. They'll fight before he moves up.
No, I'm just saying though, if it's, I don't know. I'm just saying, if all that politics shit comes again with that side of the street and
Nah, there's none of that.
50 and all that, I don't think Spence will hang around. I think he'll fuck off. What's more, but it has to happen this way. There's no ifs or buts. Yeah,
I don't think there was ever a thing of 50-50 or 60-40 or whatever, because they never talked. Nobody ever sent anybody a contract. It's kind of like what Watcher says. It was a bunch of fucking silent ass agreements about when the fight was going to happen between them. And now that the fight is happening, it's like everyone's sitting up over here saying stuff like, you know, it better happen and stuff. Better happen, needs to happen, or this and the third. Those guys already knew when the fight was going to happen. That's just my opinion.
Thing is, though, Mike, even if they do come down to negotiations, if they do make this fight, Spencer's got really all the power in his ankles. I wouldn't say all the power, but he's the one who has cleaned up, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, see, I don't even look at stuff like that with this because it's not my money. You know what I'm saying? And not only that is I just want to see the fight. And you know, there's a lot of people. You know, when you look at a lot of these negotiations with fighters, people will always say like, "Who's the one that's been doing this? Who's been cleaning up?" I mean, look at all the words that people use for this type of thing to try to, you know, either justify or not justify somebody's A side or B side. And if the way I put it is just like Dillian White said, you know, uh, is both of those guys is what's going to get people to watch the fight. It's not just because of Earl Spence. It's not because of Terrence Crawford. It's because of both of them. And when people are saying the numbers that they did right now in AT&T Stadium, I mean, whatever the stadium is called, 34,000 people. And then you start hearing about how much the pay-per-view did. And then you're going to say to yourself, you mean to tell me this fight is going to do the same as that? I mean, but like as boxing fans, is like people are already competing, saying like, you know, where does this put Errol or this in the third? It's like I don't give a fuck, man. I just want to see the fight.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, like you say, yeah, I just hope they make the fight because at the end of the day, these, like Tyrone and you said, there's nowhere else to go. These two are the only. I'm not saying that there's not other good fighters in there, but these two are top of the tree, aren't they? These two are the legit guys who have got all the belts. Earl wants to go for undisputed. I do believe Bud does as well. It's a great fight. And I honestly, I wouldn't even know who to call for that fight. I really wouldn't. Who would you call for, Mike?
I mean, I would just keep it as a solid 50-50 fight, you know, because they both, I mean, they both have nice attributes, you know, for themselves. I mean, and then not only that, this is, I would go with Spence, but still, that fight can go, and it's a 50-50 fight, you know. And hear all what people are saying online about if Earl gets caught and Earl got caught against Ugas and all this stuff, but it's not like Crawford ain't never got caught by someone.
Exactly. Cavalakis for starters.
All right.
Was it Cavalakis? Green beans.
But then look
Yeah,
at
him and Gamboa.
Yeah, Gamboa's another one. Yeah.
like when I was on this morning listening to Blood Boxing, it was like a whole bunch of people were talking about how Earl was hurt, but never brought up how Ugas was hurt during that fight, and it was on multiple fucking occasions.
Yeah, he was going to take a knee.
Huh?
He was about to take a knee had they not stopped that.
Man, even before that, the fucker, you could see it. He hit him and he went, Ugas went, ooh. And he, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can see it throughout the whole fucking fight. Like, there's been spots where you see fucking Earl hit him, and all of a sudden he starts backing up. But see, Ugas played it off good because Ugas didn't allow Earl, because Earl was throwing a lot of motherfucking punches. He didn't allow Earl to just take over. You know, he at least tried to counter, and then at least tried to, steal it around here and there, trying to throw a couple of flurries. But the dude was getting hurt. I saw at least about 4 times he got hurt, especially to the body.
Thing is, though, Mike, that's one of Earl's specialities, isn't he?
The body, yeah.
Yeah, he's a fantastic body puncher. One of the best in the business, without shadow of a doubt. When Earl hits people, sometimes it makes me cringe because you can see the venom what he puts in shots. When he's finding them. I always remember that when he fought Chris Algieri years ago, when he was whooping him to the body. And in fact, I think he dropped Algieri with a body shot.
Yeah, he dropped him a couple times in that fight.
Well, you need a big.
Oh, my bad. Go on, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
No, somebody else.
But thing is, I see a lot of opportunities for Crawford to counter him better. Crawford will definitely counter him much better than Ugas, but we've got to see if Crawford can stand up to that assault. Does Crawford even have a jab to keep Spence off him like that? I don't think so. So it's like it's a toss-up fight for me. I've got to see the fight.
It's a great fight. What's Derek? But yeah, especially last night, Spence was digging shots. Yeah. Thing is, though, what people I heard you speaking about this as I was setting up. Crawford's a freak, man, because for such a little dude, man, that guy's got some serious power and strength. Yeah. Don't you think so, Ty?
Yeah, I think so. I wasn't a believer at first, but I am.
He's gone up
the way he took out Mr. Brook. I mean, we can say the eye and everything else, but that's a big guy.
Brook basically did Kel with a jab.
Yeah, like an arm punch. I mean, now granted he ran into it, but
yeah, he did.
To be hurt off of that, like it's, he can hit.
I do think though in that fight, I do think the ref stopped it a bit too early.
Yeah, I think so.
Even though Kel did get caught, like you say, he got caught coming into it more than the actual punch did the damage, didn't he? If you know what I mean. He was coming in to throw his punch, and as he come in, Bud caught him, and he caught him off guard. He stumbled across the ring, as we know. But I thought the referee jumped in way too early. I won't say way too early, but the ref jumped in early. Cal would have gone on again after that, But for a little dude, anyway, Crawford's got some serious power, man, for a little dude, and he's gone up to that 147, and he's just he's what, Mike?
Yeah, go ahead. So I was talking to somebody else. I forgot to take it off.
Right. I'm just saying he's got better power. He's just, I don't know, man. It's a good fight. I wouldn't know who to go for. I'm actually 50-50 on that. I really don't know. I
think most of us are 50-50. I think most of us are taking that position. A lot of us are 50-50, with this fight, and we gotta see. I definitely think it happens towards the end of the year. I think they'll try to give Crawford an interim fight, but I mean, he doesn't have a fight date right now.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and anybody trying to hear all that shit, Tyrone, you know we ain't trying to hear that. Like, you might as well just go on and get it on.
if they do that, then they'd have to fight in like August or September.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. He get his he'll get his little 90 days, right? And then they can go on into the fight, you know. But if, you know, we've been waiting long enough, so I don't, you know, I'm not trying to. And then plus, you know, if they do it in August, you know, up over there in Texas, what I'm thinking that's what they want to do is either there in Las Vegas, you know, it's still warm outside.
Yeah. Well, I think there's one fighter who they really need to be careful. Both of them. Whoever wins that fight, there's a fighter on the horizon who they need to watch out for, because in another year or two, this guy's going to be a superstar, and that's Campbell Hatton.
Who?
Campbell Hatton. I think he's going to be.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fucking hell, did you see that shit last night? Fucking hell.
No.
Never see. He's a disaster waiting to explode him.
You know what? I did see it last night. Yeah.
Fucking hell, Mike. That was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was over there making fun of it. You know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. The after the fact was the worst part for a lot of these fights. Like, just to hear the commentary people and Tony Below and all these clowns try to, you know, say who these guys should fight next and shit like that. It just didn't. None of the shit added up. Like, nobody wants to, like, and then what made me what made me like, this is just me. It just didn't seem right to have the Alicia Baumgartner fight, you know, before that trash ass shit.
Yeah.
There was
missed that fight, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
That girl that she fought was not Matisse's sister. That whole family, Fabian and Andre, all the cousin, the brother, they can all punch. There's no way that's the sister of Lucas Matisse. I mean, 30 fights and 1 knockout.
Is that what they were saying, Lucas Mortice's sister?
That's what they say. Maybe she's adopted, but there's no way because she can't punch.
Mortice was a banger.
The whole family can punch.
Yeah.
Well, Tyrone, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. It was just you and this is the thing that bugs me the most. You know, when I see a fight, because when I was watching that Stanionis fight, right? When I'm watching that fight, and then I watch some of these fights, I just be kind of like, who taught these motherfuckers how to punch?
I thought the Stanionis fight was really good. I thought
no. What I'm saying is like those two dudes could punch. Like,
yeah, those dudes can hit.
Like they can be dead ass tired or wobbled, and they're not going to be thrown like a little sissy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you watch the chick that Alicia fought, you're kind of like, who taught this bitch how to punch?
I mean, it's in MMA too. They've got it with the person who beat Nunes. I mean, both of those girls were literally, they had their elbows up at 90 degrees, and they were, when I mean winding up, I don't mean, you know, coming back. I mean literally their elbow was almost like gyrating, like a fucking, what's it called, like the thing, like an egg batter.
Right.
And they were winding up punches like that in a circular motion. It was almost like they were doing windmills with their arms. It looked so bad.
Like, who taught somebody? Maybe I'm talking out of my ass or something, but it just, sometimes it just be like, I just be like, no wonder why, like, you know, so.
She signed with Eddie now, hasn't she?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Well, fair play to Eddie. I can't knock him. He's revved up women's boxing, especially over here. He's revved up women's boxing. There's not a lot of promoters who are really fucking promoting women's boxing, but Fast Eddie's got his foot in the door there with women's boxing, and he's actually making good fights. So I got to give him credit.
But Laws, what do you think? But yeah, you're right. I don't mean to cut you off, Laws, but I was hoping you was gonna go into like that. After I said all that about the punching power of that guy, who was that guy, Laws, that hadn't fought?
I don't know, some fucking Argentinian bin man.
Yeah,
never heard of him. But I was watching that.
Within like, if me, you, Tyrone box for fucking 3 years, we won't be throwing punches like that. Like, what the fuck is that?
I don't know.
What the fuck was he throwing?
But the
daytime boxers.
Well, Mike, what made me laugh is Campbell Atten's uncle, his trainer, Matthew Atten, told him after the first round, watch out for them looping right hands, what he keeps
I heard
throwing.
that, Laws.
Yeah, and then fucking hell, he walked into about 8 of them in the next round. And I was like you see, damn man, if that was someone who had half decent power, he'd have got blasted into orbit him.
Well, somebody said he's just an actor of his dad. Like he's not even.
He's like an actor of his dad. Like, it's shameful.
Yeah.
It's kind of like watching that. Remember that picture you had? Ricky Henry just sitting in the stands with his head down. Right.
Let me pull it up. The
out of me.
Chavez.
Yeah, I was never a fan of his dad neither. I thought his dad's fighting style was awful. All attack.
I thought it was, but he wasted a lot of time. I don't know what these guys be thinking. You know, you can't fight like that with everybody.
No. Like I said to you, Mike, you could have hung your washing out to dry on his chin. It was that fucking high up in the air and exposed. It's fucking embarrassing. Like I say, he won't make it. I'll be surprised if he makes it past 10 and know him before he gets knocked out. He's fucking awful.
That's probably why they didn't put him with no good domestic guys up over there. That's probably why.
Yeah, because he'll get knocked out, Mike.
Shaking in their fucking boots, and everybody wants a piece because they want to get somewhere, and from him they'll get somewhere. They knock him out. They can't deny him.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair though, Mike, how the hell did he even get the decision? Because the fight what I watched, he was getting pieced up. He was getting it caught. He got caught easily 20 times with them looping left, right hands. Easy.
He wasn't, and he was touching them too, but he wasn't. They had no juice on him.
Because a lot of them on the gloves as well, Mike.
The dude didn't know how to throw a punch. That's all it was. Like, he was touching them, but like the rest of, them judges just like, we're not counting pillows today.
Yeah, it was bullshit. And then we had Conor Ben versus Van Binman. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, even Dougie Fisher said, I posted y'all what he said. That fucker's not dangerous. Like, if you could throw a punch, right, and you just did that all night to win a fight, well then, what the fuck was all this talk about Deontay Wilder then?
What was he saying about Deontay?
Huh?
What was he saying about Deontay?
No, he said something about Conor Ben, but I was just like, so what was all this animosity with Deontay Wilder then? It's like, this guy can't do. He's not showing you that he can box. I don't think he's showing you that he can sweep for the fences.
Okay.
Yeah. Thing is, right, Mike, I've got nothing against Conor Ben. I've got nothing against him. It's if you actually look deep into when he's talking. I mean, I went back and I watched loads of I wouldn't say loads, but I watched about 3 or 4 interviews with Eddie Hearn after, and Eddie Hearn, there was one on Seconds Out where he was saying, "Oh, you anyone would be frightened of this guy? He's a fucking wrecking machine and all this." And then, Conor Benn basically repeats what Eddie Hearn says. So if Eddie Hearn says something in an interview, or Conor Benn says something, somewhere down the line, Eddie Hearn says it, and vice versa. So I can see where Conor Benn's getting all this shit from, and a lot of it is Eddie Hearn. But what I'm saying, Mike, is you'll never know how good Conor Benn is unless he steps up his game. When you fight anyone, and as you know, and as Ty knows, anyone can look good when you're beating up bin men or butchers or vicars. Anyone can look good. But the thing is, when you step up and you fight an half-decent fighter or a legit, you get found out. He's doing the same thing with Conor Benn as what he did with AJ. Strategically moved across the chessboard, blocking him, dodging him, fighting him, missing him, fighting him. And then when they fight, they get found out, like AJ did with Usyk and stuff like that. It's better to put Conor Benn in with someone, let the guy fight, and if he loses, he can learn off his mistakes. A fighter will learn more if he's tested than what he will do if he's fighting bums. Look at Fernando Vargas. He was a prime example of what I'm talking about. People loved him. He was knocking everyone out, and I can remember in the 90s, everyone was banging on about him. He got put in with Felix Trinidad. Fucking hell, he got tore apart. And did Del Hoya beat him as well? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I know he got smashed to pieces, and then he disappeared, and no one even talks about him now.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Lost, put it like this, and that's the problem with a lot of these fighters out there. Is like it seems I'm not trying to say I know what's going on and stuff like that, but I'm just going to go into the line of what it seems to be, and it does seem like, that at the end of the day, when it comes to these boxers, it's like how much of it do they believe from these promoters, like about them, like they're out there calling this guy dangerous. He comes out with the song. Edward Hearn says this. He regurgitates it. And are you supposed to believe all that shit and just keep fighting like the way you are, or get better at with your craft? Because from as far as like what I can see,
facts, Mike,
that if he believes everything that what these guys are saying about him, and it's I think it's going to hinder his career.
Yes,
because he's going to get up,
Michael. That's the problem, bro.
And he's going to think he could just swing like this with anybody. But he went in there with a guy that from round one couldn't see he could throw a proper punch.
Mike, you just hit the nail on the head, bro. You hit the nail on the head. You like you say, you've got a promoter, right? What is promoting this guy as a killer, as a roadman killer? He's this, that, and the third. He's going to start to believe in all that shit. I've just been listening to Stormy B-Man's just done a live stream on this, and Stormy was bang on what he was saying. He is exciting to watch because he's knocking people out, but you cannot. People like you, me, Ty, Stormy, hardcore boxing fans, like you just said, Mike, it's going to hinder his career because he's believing it. He's believing in this shit himself, but it's farce. What? It's farce, Mike. And we'll never know how good he is, Mike, until he steps up the game. I spoke to an American guy last night on YouTube, like going back and two with him. And I said the thing is, like, people think I hate Conor Ben. I don't hate him, Mike. I've got nothing against the lad. I want him to do well. I just want him to actually go and fight somebody with a pulse and stop thinking that you're this killer when you've not actually done anything. Yeah, you're knocking people out. Yeah, I appreciate that. But you're knocking out people who are has-beens or they've been dug up. And do you know what I mean, Mike? The video what I made on him the other day, like some guy text putting my message, you need to go and do your research. Van Herden is a true warrior. He had an amateur career, blah blah. And I was like, well, hang on. I never once ever spoke anything about Van Herden's amateur career. I never said that. I did my research on him. Van Herden had been out of the ring for 16 months. And over 3 years, he'd only had 2 fights. And that was one was with Bhutea and the other one was some Cossack, whatever. So I know that this guy has been inactive. And Ben's been very active. He's 25. This guy's 38. It's a payday. He's a bin man. I'm not saying he's a shit fighter, but I'm saying it's another let's go dig up a stiff for him. And when I was proven, what happened? Not even 2 rounds and he gets blasted out of there.
Like you should have. Dude probably can't even pass medical. The first hit he got hit with, he was all over the place like he had a broken leg.
Yeah. But the thing is, Mike, you talk shit, I talk shit, Ty talk shit. Because there's fucking clowns. There's clowns what roll with the propaganda of, oh, yeah, he's only had a couple of fights. Oh, yeah, he's had no amateur background career. Listen, man, he's had 21 professional fights. 21 professional fights. Most people who have had 21 professional fights are either one step away from a world title fight or they've already had a world title fight. So, you know what I mean? He's been a professional boxer, Mike, for 6 years. If you can't learn your craft after 6 years, doesn't matter whether you've had an amateur career or not. If you can't learn your craft after 6 years, Mike, it's time to get out of there, isn't it? You can't go for a job as a bricklayer and you can't lay bricks after 6 years. And you go on site and you fucking tell, oh, yeah, I can lay bricks. And then after 6 years, you go on site and you can't lay bricks. You're down the road, mate. You're in the job centre. You kicked on. I don't know. It's hard for me to try and explain what I'm saying.
No, we know what you're saying, but my whole thing is that, you know, there's a fucking fine line between wanting somebody to do great and sitting up over here polishing them off to be great without finding anybody. That's what the thing that people I think are trying to say, that what people are trying to say, but then they're getting blasted off as being fucking haters because they're just calling it like it is. You got these commentators out here saying all of this sweet shit about him, but he's not giving you all that sweet shit fights. So why the fuck are we sitting up over here supposed to? Why should we really be up over here? You know, talking about this guy like he's the next thing without fighting anybody. He got 20 fights, and he's been fighting the same type of caliber people. That's like us right now, up over here, talking about
tennis.
No, not Bhutea, Tommy Fury.
Oh,
yeah,
that's like talking about Tommy Fury. You can knock all these motherfuckers out like you want to, and look good doing it, and look half good doing it, right? But then all of a sudden, when you fight somebody you get found out. Like people can say all they want to about all these fighters from over the time, but you got knocked. But when you get knocked out by a guy that was not even in half decent shape, last minute, when you get found out by a guy like that, Andrew Ruiz, but then you're supposed to be this big dog on the block, and then you get found out by a guy that's that struggles to make even heavyweight.
Well, Mike, yeah, I agree. Tyrone, let me ask you a question, right, bro? It's the same thing, I think, with Jerome Bhutea, right? Because let me explain this to you. And what I mean by this is I've been combing up and down the US channels over the last maybe year or so, and a lot of American channels are saying, "Oh, Boots will wipe the floor with him, with Conor Benn and Virgil Ortiz." And I was actually watching Fanon today, and a great comment come up. Some guy said Conor Benn will knock Boots Ennis out, and everyone was on his case straight away. No, he won't. Boots will do him, and all this and that and the third. And the guy put as a reply, "Why does Boots Ennis get credit for beating Van Herden, yet Conor Benn doesn't?" And I actually looked at it and I thought, you know what? That's a fucking great comment, that. Because at the end of the day, if you actually think about it, Mike, Boots Ennis hasn't beaten anyone with a name, and neither's Conor Benn.
Facts.
Well, probably Lipinets, but he's a guy they dug up from 140. The issue that I have with Ennis right now, it'll be the reason he loses. He's going to get caught with a big overhand right over the top. 100%. That's his Achilles heel. He loads up a lot. He needs to be more calm. But other than that, he does everything well. I mean, he's definitely one of the best talents in the sport. Ben, I don't even think is a quarter as talented. But again, styles make fights and game plans, and we don't know until they actually fight each other what will happen.
That's what I'm trying to get at, Ty. Facts, bro.
I mean, my only thing was that, you know, and I talked to you, and I'm pretty sure you guys heard what I already had to say about Boots. But my main thing is that, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, the guy does appear to be good. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, footwork and all that stuff, and his punch placement, his ability to, you know, to get the fuck out of the way of these punches and stuff like that. But, you know, against who?
Yeah, Mike. That's
against who? Adrian Broner looked all that, you know, but then when we found out who it was against, then when he fights somebody, you know, look what happens.
Mike, that's exactly what I'm getting at, bro. I mean, this is what I was thinking today when I was watching Fanon, and everyone said, "Oh, Boots will salute to you, L Dub, salute low. Hope you're good, bro." This is the thing what I always try and think about. We can't justify. Well, I can't anyway. I can't say that Boots Ennis would knock Conor Benn out because I don't know. They've never fought. Both of them, in my eyes, is the same with Virgil Ortiz. All three of them are coming up through the rankings. But really, Mike, who have they fought? They've been fighting Ben Man, really.
Ortiz probably fought the best guys so far.
I would say that, Ty. I would say that, Kavaliakis and stuff like that. I agree with you there, Ty. I think Ortiz has fought the better opposition over both of them two. But the thing is, we will never know unless these lot mix it up, because it's like propaganda, isn't it? It's okay when you're knocking out bin men and Vickers and McDonald's workers and Uber drivers. That's okay. But like Mike said and you said, when you actually step up, styles make fights, we won't know unless these lot are one of them, well, maybe two of them will get found out very shortly.
It's like, and then like with Tank, well, like like 2 years ago when you guys are on my channel we had that discussion about Tank. It's like the same thing. It's like yeah, he looks good and all that stuff. Huh?
I'll just say Mike doesn't forget anything.
Well, I do, but I remember that one. But I was just like, you know what? It's kind of like that. It's like take this and take that. Needs to step up, and still like you know what I'm saying. He's fighting Rolly next, and then hopefully we can get something else popping. Well, and that's some weird ass shit. That they're not really talking about, but they should. But they're not even explaining why he's even fighting Rolly. Which there's a reason behind it, and they're not even saying it, which is kind of odd. He's number one. He's basically damn near the mandatory. They was already about to fight him so they could fight somebody else, and that didn't happen. He ended up catching that case, ended up dropping out of the fight, and now they're fighting him anyway. So it's kind of like there's an agreement to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're not even talking about it, but which rightfully so, because then you got to bring up that he has like some weird past allegation. But Cruz. Look how the fight with Cruz and Tank went. It was tough for Gervonta Tank Davis. And then look what Cruz
fight, man.
And then look what Cruz did this weekend. And then now all of a sudden people are finding out that, hey, maybe Cruz ain't what we thought he would. Maybe he wasn't a cherry pick. Maybe he's not a scrub like you can say he is.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mike. I got confused. Yeah, you're on about Santa Cruz.
No, I'm not talking about Santa Cruz.
No, you're on about Tank's last fight.
No, against Pitbull.
Oh, right. Well, he's not called Cruz, is he?
Yeah, it is Isaac Cruz.
Yeah.
They're all either Cruz, a Barrios, a Suarez, a Lopez, a Sanchez, a Dominguez, a Rodriguez. Literally, go to his box rack. I'll go to his box rack right now, dude.
And then now, like I'm saying is that you don't know, like people can say all this stuff about people, but you don't know until they actually fight somebody. And it's not like you can't say people are hating because they don't see things the way you see it. That's not fucking hating. It's basically like we want to, like I said a long time ago, boxing fans are from the show me state. You got to show us for us to. You should show us in order for us to bleed. And we all shouldn't be sitting up over here having the same fucking weird ass fucking opinions with this stuff, because we all had the same fucking opinion. Then what's the fucking point coming on here talking about boxing? So I can feel good about the opinion. So I can go on somebody's channel, listen to them talk about boxing, and then feel good because my opinion correlates with them. Like, no, you don't get validation points for somebody you believe in, somebody having the same opinion as yours. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of these people are. And that's the reason why a lot of channels won't say what we're saying, is because they're scared that their fans will leave. They're scared their fans won't hit the like button, won't subscribe, because you don't believe that.
Michael,
because you want to say, I want to see Boots fight somebody before I start saying what you're saying. I want to see Tank fight somebody. I want to see Conor Ben fight somebody. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that around these cats, because all of a sudden then you're a fucking hater.
Yeah, made to feel like you're standing on hot coals, Mike. Fuck that. You should be able to express your feelings. You should, as a boxing fan, be able to say what you want without thinking, oh God, if I say that, I might lose some subs, or I might lose views, or might get hated on. People hate on a lot of boxing channels, Mike, because they want to hear what propaganda's pumped out. But the real boxing fans, the casuals, want to hear that shit because they flow with that shit. If someone says he's a killer and he's not, and we all know he's not a killer, the casuals ride with that. And that's how these promoters and these managers sell tickets, because the casuals will buy the tickets and the pay-per-views. But when the hardcore fan knows that he's a bum, or he might not be a bum, but he's fighting bin men and bums, and then you say something, you get hated on. It's fucking stupid, man.
So let's go through.
What you getting up here, Ty Box, right?
Yeah.
All the names of Tank Davis' opponents.
Well, just let me say this before you go into anything. I did watch that last fight of Tank's. I know what you're on about now. He made Tank Davis work in that last fight.
Let's look at his boxer, right? Desi Williams, okay. Jacob Ninal, all right. I'm gonna count the number of, what we need, right? Rafael Casillas, number 1. That's 1. Joshua Rocho, number 2. Lopez, 3. Mraz, 4. Almeida, 5. Mora, 6. Cristobal Cruz, 7. Right? Luis Sanchez, 8. Godinez, 9. Macias, 10. Pedraza, 11. Yeah. This guy has to be the last, non-Hispanic dude I remember him fighting.
Yeah, he loves fighting.
Yeah, Liam Walsh. Fonseca, 12. Cuellar, 13. Ruiz, 14. Nunes, 15. Gamboa, 16. Cruz, 17. Barrios, 18. Isaac Cruz, 19. And this will be 20. So out of 27 fights, 20 of them are Hispanic. Make sense.
It was the British lad who he beat up. He come over here and knocked him out. That was funny, that.
Liam Walsh.
I couldn't believe. When I seen that, I was watching the interview, I was like, fucking hell, really? Tank was saying to you, I'm going to duff you up. And I was like, this kid was getting cocked. No, he ain't do this. I watched him a few months before, knock fuck out of Pedraza. But yeah. So what's he in 26 fights he's had?
It'll be 27 fights, 20 of them were,
Hispanics.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't make it up.
Well,
you would have thought that Davis's name was Davida. You would have thought that Davis's name was Gervonta Davida Sanchez.
Yeah. But Ty, isn't that same as Floyd though? Didn't Floyd fight
similar route. Similar route.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Haney too.
Haney too. I mean, it's like now if you're fighting in Mexico, that's different. But Tank is not fighting in Mexico, dude. Let me tell you something. Like DC Armory, I've been there. I've been here. I've been to Coppin State a lot of times. I've been Baltimore. I mean, these are places. A lot of these places. I mean, he fought Gamboa where? Or Nunes in the Royal Farms Arena. I went there for a graduation. I mean, Royal Farms is a big DMV thing over here. It's a gas station that sells chicken, of course. But it's great chicken. I love it. And that's why I like that arena.
Yeah.
But I've been to a lot of these places. He's not fighting in Tijuana, Mexico or somewhere. He's bringing these guys from over there, from a bus.
Yeah, what you say, man. Yeah.
To fight them. It's sad.
But hasn't he got rid of Mayweather now, though?
I think that's the path they're going on, but he's still managed by Al Heyman. I mean, I don't know what the deal is, but I mean, Mike might know about it more than I do. Go ahead.
Because I think they fucking with the fans, because it always seems like with Floyd and Tank Davis, there's always some sleight of hand business. It's like why would you, no matter what's going on, like the maturity level of you, as an individual, talk about the dude that got you to where you are right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you talk about the guy that put asses in seats for you? Because a lot of these movie stars and actors and sports people, They wouldn't be sports stars. They wouldn't be coming to your fights if it wasn't if just because you're Tank Davis. It's because fucking Floyd Mayweather. It's because the whole Mayweather promotions part side of it. That's the reason why. Because like, where would Tank be at right now without Floyd Mayweather? He probably wouldn't have the training that he had. He probably already got his ass whooped, and that's facts. Or he'd probably be in jail. You see what I'm saying? You're like, so why would you even come out and even say something about somebody that's done a lot for you? Like the level of maturity and all that stuff. Like, that's the reason why I just think that is just a bunch of BS. Even if he leaves Floyd, I don't think he'll leave Al Heyman. But
No, they're not leaving Al Heyman.
But then you got Edwin Hearn out there, you got Bob Arum out there, you got Daniel Kinningham out there, you got Salido, you have Lou, you have a lot of people out there that you could sign with that will be willing to even take a pay cut just to have you on a roster. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think, there's not one promoter out there in the world that's going to sit up over here and act like they could do better than what these guys have been doing with Tank. It's like, and then there's a lot of headache with it, because he's still probably got a couple cases on his ass. Now, he don't know that he's probably going to do jail time, community service, or whatever. So I still think it's just a bunch of BS. I think at the end of the day, it's not a level of concern for me, but I think once he gets rid of Rolly, if he gets rid of Rolly, but I think he will, I can see them getting the ball rolling with a better level of competition.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, I said this before, that this division, right? Those belts are tied up for a year and a half minimum, right? So it doesn't leave a lot of options. You've got, that's Kambosos, Lomachenko, and Haney gone basically for that year and a half. Lopez has moved up. So where does, what's his name go? What happens with Tank and Garcia? Those guys are ass out for the most part.
Which Garcia's assed out? I don't think so.
Like, they're ass out. They're not. They're window shopping right now. Those guys aren't in the title picture.
Well, they might not be in the title picture, but he's gonna have to fight somebody. And like you just pointed out, they got like 3 fight deal with Haney with the Kambosos. Then after that, then they go and fight somebody else. I think that's dumb, because I don't think even about time. But it depends on when he's able to come back as well, because there's no saying that war is going to be over within a year or two. You know what I'm saying? And if Lomachenko comes back after Devin Haney and Kambosos has their second fight, and then goes in to fight that winner immediately, I'm gonna call BS on him fighting that war. I'm gonna call BS on him. And it seems like it seems like he just wants them to do all the work and him just swoop out of the sky. You know what I'm saying? And get a shot that he doesn't even fucking deserve. And I say that because you just took a fucking L, and now you're just going to show up on the scene and be like, "Hey, I'm next." No, you need to fight somebody else. How about you fight fucking Tank? How about you fight fucking Tank? You know what I'm saying? How about you work your way up and stop bypassing people every time it's convenient for you? And I just wish a lot of these fighters would start doing that. Start fucking doing the same thing that these fighters done to you. Say fuck them. Go and stay your ass over there in the Ukraine, and hope you don't whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it back alive.
Yeah, it's.
So that'd be really only it. If Lomachenko just says, "Hey, Tank, you want to fight?" That's the only way he'd be able to get that fight, or any fight, right?
Yeah.
Damn, Laws ran.
Yeah, Laws got out.
Yeah, I saw L Dub say something about that Stanionis guy. I mean, them guys could, you know. I want to see what's next come out of them dudes, man. Let's see what happens next, man. Let's see what else.
Yeah, I agree. Both of those guys, I think, are going somewhere in this division. Stanionis, I think, for sure will be champion once those belts disperse, depending on who he fights, of course.
Yeah, I think he could. You know, people better. And who they were saying, Conor Ben versus him. I was just like, I don't know, bro.
Nah,
I don't know. Somebody said something like that, and I was just like, dude, I don't know. I don't even think they even do it right now.
Yeah,
because the only thing they got to do is catch you once. You know, Conor Ben as well, but they got a little bit more
more technique.
Yeah, that's a little
But again, all these guys have to fight each other. I think Stanionis and that Bhutea guy. Well, Stanionis, Bhutea, those guys are in their late 20s, maybe early. I think they're 29, 28. They're waiting on their shots, especially Stanionis. I mean, once those belts disperse, it's going to be him versus somebody for that WBA.
Mm-hmm. I was surprised that I was surprised Stanionis. I'm like, man, his jab is cool.
Very good jab. And it's not the fact that, and I said this before, I'll say it again. He's not flashy, right? He doesn't have all these things in his toolbox, but what he does well. He's compact. He's sharp. His defense, I thought at times a little bit, he left himself a bit open. He was getting hit with some stuff, but it's usually pretty compact, sharp. He's a strong fighter. He punches hard, and he knows how to cut off the ring. And he was doing some good stuff on the back foot. I mean, he's very, very solid fighter. I think he's a talent.
Yeah, he was like, Conor Ben. I'm like, motherfucker ain't that damn dangerous. And he came up with the Conroy Smith song, "Dangerous."
Yeah, well, he needs to fight. I mean, you guys were pissed off in the comment in the group chat. You guys were talking about apparently what they're looking at the Amir Khan fight.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. I mean, him versus Brooke would be huge. I'd probably pick Brooke to beat Ben, to be honest. But they've got to get and fight each other.
Well, it's kind of weird though, Tyrone, because you know at first it was like they bring him in the ring and they shaking hands and shit like that, and you see Ben and Khan talking and dapping it up like he was giving them pointers or something, and then you hear no, not that fight. Then you hear it's like they was throwing shit out there and seeing what the fans would say.
Yeah, hoping something sticks.
Yeah, and ain't nothing stick because don't nobody want to see him in Khan or Brooke. It seems like Brooke. Well, Brooke is an older guy right now. They know why he's trying. They know why he's fighting him because just like everybody is finding out that his eye can't hold up no more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if he catches you, it's a wrap. But if Brooke catches you, it might just be a wrap. But he's kind of like one of them dudes, like he's over the hill, not over the hill, but he's still a good boxer, a great boxer, but his body won't hold up. You know what I'm saying, Tyrone?
Yeah.
His body won't hold up. Like we've seen it. You know, yeah, he looked good against Amir Khan, but put him in there with somebody else that can take it. That can take it. That's not going to get bullied. That's going to give it back and then hit him in that fucking eye, or in that shoulder of his. You know. And then how old is Brooke going to be in his next fight anyway? His next fight, he going to be what? His next fight.
Brooke, I don't know. How old is he? I think he's going to be probably like 36 or 37.
He 36, 37?
Yeah.
And he used up like that already? Fuck. Fuck. Damn. See?
Yeah.
I guess that's what happens when you fight Earl and he fuck your eye socket up.
Yeah.
Guess that's what happened.
You got anything more I'm about to wrap this up? We kind of talked about
my whole well, the Ugas fight, yeah, the Ugas fight, yeah. I don't think I touched on everything I wanted to with that. I give it out to Ugas, but I wish he would have used his jab more. I wish he would have pick and choose a distance game instead of just sitting up over there with the high guard and just trying to catch punches. And then because obviously a lot of those punches that were thrown by Earl actually fucking landed. It seemed like a lot of those punches he was trying to catch with them gloves, they actually slipped past and was hitting that fucking eye of his. But I think that it was the wrong game plan. I think that they never switched up the game plan on Ugas' side. They were content with doing what they were doing, and it didn't work. Sitting back waiting to counter a guy like Earl. There's a difference between you looking at his flaws and you attacking those flaws, but you just sitting back and you just trying to counter a guy all day and hoping that something sticks, ain't the best plan for you to do if it ain't been working out for the last 5-6 rounds, and you're getting tired. But he put out a statement. It sounded pretty good and all that stuff. But at some point, these boxers and these fans out here gotta understand that you don't have to be nice about taking the L. You don't have to be nice about going into a fight with these fighters. It's okay for a fighter to be mean and angry and say what the fuck they want to say and how they want to say it. Yeah, fighters showing class says a lot about character and stuff like that. But I seriously think that deep down inside, a lot of these fighters be fucking faking the funk on who they really fucking is on these interviews and stuff like that. And you've seen who they really are when shit don't go their way in the ring and when they're showing protests to the referees and stuff like that. But obviously, I said in the group chat that I think the fight was stopped a little bit too soon, but obviously it wasn't because he had a broken eye socket. The only thing that worse that can happen from there is you actually losing fucking sight. So there was nothing, and at that point in the fight, there wasn't pretty much that anybody can say that if Ugas was going to fight that way all the way into the 12th round, and you already could see that he couldn't see out of one eye, there was nothing he could have done. There was nothing he could have done. It was all on Errol Spence to make him quit. What's his name? Michael Irvin said when he was high on coke in the stands, he broke him. You didn't see that, Tyrone?
I heard about something like that.
Yeah, he was high. He looked like he was high and he was sweating hard. And he was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He broke him.
I mean, and what was with at the weigh-in, Micah Parsons getting up there in the middle of them while they're staring down, mean mugging. He got his arms crossed, making the show about him. And then when they flex, he flexes. I'm just like, man, get this mug out of here, man. I'm tired of these guys bringing in random celebrities, quote unquote, to hype up a fight where it doesn't need any fight. I mean, the most you can get is a couple hundred fans, if that.
What if he was just there and they just say, "Hey, come on up"?
Yeah, go to the weigh-in. They weighed in everything. They had their belts on their shoulders. They're staring down after the weigh-in, and Micah Parsons in between them. He's kind of mean mugging the crowd, and he's got his arms folded, crossed in front of him. He's standing like that, and they flex, and he flexes. He tries to make the show about him. It's just like, no, I don't want to see that mug ever again.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of odd when I saw it because I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" And then I was like, "Oh." Then I was like, why the fuck is he even up there? He'd been better off.
Exactly. This season is over. Cowboy season is over.
Yeah, you've been better off saying, "Hey, Booker T, stand in the middle of these guys" or something like that. But and then like everybody knows, but like between them two is like Ugas is Mr. fucking nice guy. Earl just like, well,
Exactly.
do something, then I'm gonna have to just do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, ooh, like nothing was gonna happen. There was like no fucking security concern whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? It's like you put this, there's not so he's a big guy, but as far as when it comes to people that's big, he's a not so big guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but you know, I at the end of the day, my whole point was that maybe if Ugas stops trying to be so nice with these guys, maybe he could have won.
Yeah, but
because like, did you read his post fight thingy?
yeah, oh, it was good. My eye socket, I'll be back. You know, the normal stuff. But
exactly, like, yeah, that sounds good and all, but you know, you could have stuck around.
he'll be out for about a year and a half.
Yeah, but well, I give him about 9 months. Yeah, but yeah, because even when he gets cleared, it ain't gonna be. When he gets cleared, it's not gonna be until maybe fucking 6 months from now, and then he's still gonna have to, you know, after you get cleared, you still want to make sure it's good. So that's another month or two to get back into shape, and then another 3-4 months for a fight. I mean, that's just what I do because you know you don't want to fuck that up. You know, them eye sockets end up like, you know, some of these other boxers. You know, especially but all in all, you know, it was a good fight. I just think that you know, like you even brought it up plenty of times about these boxers being nice and being friends with people.
I don't like post-fight love scenes and hugs. I don't like when they embrace and start whispering in each other's ears. Nah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if they fight, Derek Bailey, Lubin, Ugas is on vacation together, but Lubin doesn't have a broken eye socket. At least he just had swelling. It's his nose and his right shoulder apparently, and he had a broken jaw. So I guess basically they're on the same wavelength. But yeah, just. They need to stop being so friendly and just keep it professional.
No, Lubin wasn't hurt. Lubin was fucked up.
Yeah.
Like he got his jaw broken. He got his whole right side of his face broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be doing it. You know, that the nice Mr. Nice Guy, it worked out for you until you got your ass beat, basically. And then now fans are turning their back on Ugas. Now they turn their back on him. Oh, quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, Ugas was overrated, and this and the third. I was like, wait a minute, you motherfuckers picked him to win.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you pick him to win, and a lot of and then some of the stuff people were saying leading up to the fight, why they wanted him to win was like, why the fuck you wanted him to win because
Spence.
or because you don't want Spence to have the belt, or because you're mad at Spence for not making the Crawford fight, or you know what I'm saying, or because like you just don't like him, you know, because you want to see Ugas versus Keith Thurman.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna go get something to eat.
Man, you ain't going nowhere. You're gonna stay on as long as I tell you to.
No. I'm hungry, man. I gotta get something to. All right, man. Thanks for being on the panel, man. Shout out to Laws and who came on. Shout out to Derek Bailey, Mo, L Dub, Grinder, Jacob Jennings. You know, anybody else I missed on here? Bruce Goes, who was in the chat. Man, just shout out to everybody. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Yeah.